Hi guys, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining this course. It's called Creative Thinking. So how are you all? How are you? Just, you are in cohort 16, right? So which year have you started your BSc journey with BITS Pilani?
24.
22. 20, okay, 2024. Okay, all right. So am I audible, clear and loud? Am I loud and clear without any disturbance?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, thank you. In case you don't, hear me well, then just do not. I have just given you all option to just open your video, open your, microphone. So you please let me know that I'm not audible, and I will switch. Just check my internet connection. Okay, all right. So to start with, first of all, I welcome you to this course. It's a very interesting course. It just going to be taking you a whole world of a dream world. That's what I can say. The entire course journey will be just taking you to a dream world. So that's my kind of commitment for this course. And your commitment is to just come here, enjoy the course. I know this is a Sunday afternoon, very difficult day because all the week you were just studying. So I don't mind even if you just use my course as a podcast. So I mean, I will be happy if you just can be engaged with the course. When we go on live, and you can just hear me on a like a podcast, or you can just do whatever you wish to do. So be present here. It's not by present being a dummy present, I mean dummy student, but being in presence, like giving yourself here. So whatever I'm saying, just to hear it, just to try it out. It's a lot of experimentation is there. So we do a lot of experimentation in this course. It's not something like we keep learning. There is a lot of theoretical part is there, but at the same time we can really apply those theories by experimenting out in our everyday life. So I'll be giving you some task. You have to just do the task and come back and report to me, telling me how the task went, what is your experience in the task. So that's how we are going to do it. So the creative thinking means we have to think creatively. So how much ever possible, I will try to just be creative with the course. And I wish you also be creative in participating, in just giving me feedback, in telling me other ways of doing more creatively. I'm always open to your suggestions, because I feel that when we are in online courses, whether you are a working professional or you are a just mere student, it doesn't matter. There is no hierarchy between the teacher and the student. It's a, we are in the same plane, we are in the horizontal line. So I like collaborative support. Like that is, this classroom is a collaboration of you and all of you and me. So it's not that I know it all and you know nothing. It cannot be like that. So it's always mutual sharing, knowledge, experience. I have only longer experience because I'm older to you. So obviously, I have a lot more experience than you have. So otherwise, your generation thinking, your perspective, the way you have just doing your things are very different from what your friends or I would be doing. So I cannot get that perspective from your side, right? So please do share as much as possible. Be interactive, be participative, because I do give rewards for being participative. How it is like in the assignment, we have two assignments. So I give you extra marks for being in the class, interacting with me and other peers. We have discussion forum, interacting there. So you get those extra marks in your assignment. So you get your assignment, you do your assignment, and you get extra marks also for your class presentation, your discussion forum, and all. So that's how I do it. It's a little incentive to help you to just be in the in this class. And I have created a leaderboard as well. So trying to do a little bit of gamification. I'm also learning with this tool. So I'm not very good at it. So I've just taken help from my daughter, who is also of your age. So I'll try to do a gamification into it. I've just done it, but it didn't work out as much. So just wanting to just wait for her to return, and then I'll post it out today. So you can, whoever is participating in the class, you go there and just put your points. So I want to just see who tops the leaderboard, and it will be fun. So that's all about me. I'm Dr. Shahini Das. I'm an humanities and social science professor. So I do it with BITS Pilani, and as a guest faculty for quite some time. I teach courses like in the Coursera, and as well as the BITS WILP program. Courses like social change, dynamics of social change, cultural studies, creative thinking. So these are the courses which fall under the humanities and social sciences. And that's all about me. So let's break the ice. So anybody who is volunteering to introduce yourself, please unmute yourself and can say hi. Anybody wants to just introduce yourself? I see almost like 3 rows of students. I don't want to pick you up because you are all professionals, so I don't want to just pick you up and just ask you. But if anyone.
My name
Yes.
is Apurv.
Hi, Apurv. Nice meeting you. So are you all from the same location, or do you know each other? How many of you know each other? Can you please raise your hand? Chaitanya, who else?
Yeah.
Chaitanya knows, and nobody else has raised the hand. So you are in the same section. You have been here for how many semester you have been together in this section?
It's been 1 year.
That's very nice, Chaitanya. And I don't see anybody else raising hand. 1 year, a long time. It's not just
I think they haven't changed.
Like we are from different locations, ma'am, not from the same location.
Obviously, yeah. But you are grouped into the same section, right? Saujanya?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So you have interaction with each other, like Apur, Saujanya, Chaitanya. Have you been to put into the same group so far in the last 1 year?
No, ma'am.
Never. Okay. Interestingly, we are going to do all group work. We don't have any individual work in assignments. We have 2 quizzes and 2 assignments, and both the assignments are going to be our group work. Okay. So it's not going to be any individual work. All right. So let's jump into it. If anybody else, Saujanya or Chaitanya, if you want to just say a little bit about you, like which location you guys are from, and why is this a core course or an allied course for you? That is an optional course for you. Core means it's a mandate that you have to study this course. Optional means you choose it.
It's mandate.
It's mandate. Wow, great. So can you tell me, why do you think that this course has been offered as a mandate? What could be the reason why the BITS or HCL they're proposing this course to be a mandatory course?
Because we didn't finish our degree yet, ma'am. We need to graduate, right? So we just completed our 12th. So after our 12th, yeah, after 12th, we were 1 year in training, and after our 1 year of training in HCL, and then we came into this BSc course.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so proud of you, all of you guys, because so young and working and doing your UG studies. I don't know how, if I could have done in my generation. We have never thought of doing this because for us, it was always finishing the study and then going to work. But you guys are like multifaceted. I'm just so much proud of you. Like you are taking this is your time to enjoy, and you are sitting for the weekend to study, to learn, to grow, to reach the stars. So that's the best part of this, I think, Tech B program that HCL and BITS is having. I know it's a lot of work, lot of expectations, and lot of kind of pressure that you guys have it. But I must tell you, this is the age when you can work. This is the age you can also enjoy. So but I would say, like, enjoyment can be done in any age of your life. You can also enjoy when you are old, but you cannot work when you are old. So this is the right time perhaps for you to just finishing your degree as well as working. So I mean, that's the double say brownie points you are just having. So I feel this is an opportunity, an advantage, which comes with a lot of pressure and commitment. I do agree with that. I'm not telling that it's a easy task. It just you can walk away without any kind of lot of hard work. It needs to be a lot more, maybe double the hard work. The students who are studying full time, not having a job, you guys are having full time job and almost like full time study, because though it is a part time, but the study UG rigor, that is expectation, is as much as a full time. So just let me take this call, please. So that's like, I'm so proud of you. I have no words to say. Now, my question was like, why do you think that you have to be creative? Why the BITS is offering this course? What is, I mean, this space is a very interactive space. There is no judgmental space. It's a safe classroom. Nobody is going to judge. Nobody is going to attack you because of your opinion. So this is what humanities and social sciences is all about. We respect each other's viewpoints. All our viewpoints are different. My viewpoint is different because it comes from who am I, where I have been born, and what I do, and everything, my age and my culture and everything. So I have my very different opinion. Each of you would, though, come from the same age group, but you also would be having very different opinion. So there is no right or wrong, but important is to having an opinion. So it's important to have an opinion, okay? But there is no right or wrong opinion. So nobody is going to laugh at you. Nobody is going to make judgment. Nobody is going to attack you because you have a wild opinion. And I must tell you, creative thinking is a subject where we force you to be wild. We just force you to be wild, because until and unless you think wild, you cannot be creative. So there is, just take it as a point of just being wild and tell whatever it comes to me. Be dreamy, be anything that is not normal. So be abnormal. That's where the creative thinkers are. All these creative thinkers who would be looking at, they all started their journey of life where they were different from the others. They were not they didn't fall into the what normally people do. So dare to be wild, dare to be different, dare to be say anything that you want. So anybody who thinks like why this course is at all been given to you as a mandate, what could be the reason? All right, so let's jump into, this is our course. This is our course, creative thinking, and today is our first contact session, module 1. Now look at this picture. Now what this picture tells, You can see my screen, right, guys?
Yeah. Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I think some of you can read this, some of you may not read this because you do not come from that state, but it's okay. The picture itself says a lot. Can anybody unmute and tell me what this picture talks about?
That's about the creativity of the tea vendor.
About their taste,
Like,
right?
ChatGPT is like
Each
really
of you can take
trendy.
turn. Is it Saujanya? Because I can't see your name. So please introduce who you are and then tell. And once you finish it, say thank you so that the other person can just start talking. Okay? Because I can't see your names now. I'm in the I'm seeing this picture.
I'm Astha. Am I
Astha.
audible?
Yes, absolutely. Astha, go on.
So here it shows the creativity of the tea vendor. It's like ChatGPT is being like really trendy and very popular among everybody. Everybody uses it. So to be creative, to be popular, to be noticeable around the people, the crowd. So he has used his creativity and named it as ChatGPT.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, thank you so much, Astha. Like, it resonates, right? It just connects to us. Somebody else? Can you see something else? Can anybody, like Astha is right? Yes, please introduce yourself and tell me.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Sri Vignesh.
Hi, Shri Vignesh.
And also one more trending technology is AI, which is also known as artificial intelligence. Here, this person named as Ardak and Ilaichi, which is the main component in tea flavors. So in for popularity also he used this. Thank you.
Absolutely. Adrak and Ilaichi. Adrak is ginger and Ilaichi is cardamom. Okay. So this is the masala tea we have. Entire Indian masala tea is famous, right? Any state you go, whether you go to Delhi, I come from Bengal, Calcutta, but I'm married to a Tamil. So any part of India you just go, this inji tea we call in Tamil Nadu, we call Tamil, we call inji tea. In Bengali we say ada chai, and in I studied in Delhi, so we used to call it adrak chai. Okay, so it's just a very masala tea ingredient of masala tea. So how innovatively he has used. So he's actually using these words, but how he has just depicted the words, how he translated the word, like that shows creativity. Okay, so anyone else, because I don't read this, I think it is Telugu, if I'm not wrong. Is it a
Yes,
Telugu?
ma'am. It's Telugu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what does it says? What is this one says? This part?
Yellama Talli ఆశీస్సులతో, ma'am.
It's a name of a goddesses, ma'am. It's a name of goddess. And he's saying that with with that blessings of goddess.
Wonderful, wonderful. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Anything else that you see? Anything else that you comes to your mind about creativity? What else that comes to your mind? I mean, we have explained this banner. Fine. What else? If I ask you, like I think Astha has already said, is a chai vendor, tea vendor. Now, why a tea vendor needs to be so creative? What could be the reason?
To get
Stand out
noticed.
in the competition.
Competition. May I know your name, please?
Apurv.
Apurv, yes. It's a competition. Somebody was also in between saying, a lady was speaking.
Yeah,
Guys, somebody.
Nandita.
Yes. Your name, please?
Nandita.
Nandita. Yes, tell me, Nandita.
Yeah, to get noticed.
To
We
get
have so many vendors and so many shows to get noticed.
Absolutely. So what we see them, where do we see the street vendors? With other vendors, there are many people who are just selling chai, who are selling, say chaat, or who are saying some street food, I mean state famous street foods. Like for us, Calcutta, we have egg rolls. Those are like we Frankie that you call it in. The Gen Z calls it Frankie. We still call egg roll. So that is something very famous. And then North India or Delhi, you can say chole bhature or whatever it is. There's so many very famous street foods that all they sit together, and you will be seeing many tea stalls will be there, many snack stores will be there, but there'll be it's going to pull the crowd of their own, right? So we have say each tribe has its own vibe. That is, each the seller, they attract similar people who are the buyers are very similar to the sellers. So there is always an attraction. You attract to buyers who are like you, who are like-minded. So there is nothing wrong if you put your stall in the same street where many others are just going to be there, and you are almost selling the same street food, but you have your own group of people just standing in front of you asking for things, and he wants to get it noticed. He looks like, this guy looks like more ambitious. It maybe he has that kind of comes from an educated background, or maybe his son is children, not son, I should not be very patriarchal, but his kids maybe studying, so they know AI and everything. So it looks like a very ambitious person who wants to really grow the business, right? So even a vendor needs creative thinking. For what? Somebody said competition. What else we can say? How can we substitute that word? Competition, and can you find a synonym? Why do we compete? For what? We compete for to become
Business,
successful.
money,
Business,
success.
money, success. Exactly. We compete for survival, right? All of us have been competing for survival, and we have a theory which is called the Darwin's survival of the fittest, right? So it talks about, like, we each animal, that is, we are human, we are also in the animal kingdom. So each animal tries to survive, and the fittest, the somebody who is the most strong and fit, survives longer, and somebody who is weak and not fit do not survive longer. So survival of the fittest, that's the theory of Darwin, Charles Darwin, right? So we all studied that theory when we were very young, when we were studying life sciences and biology and all. Now modern days have changed. We do not have to go and survive like animals. Like, we don't have to fight for food, fight for prey and all. So for us, like what somebody just now said, I don't know the name, so sorry about that, I'm not being able to see you. He said that for money, now our survival need is money, right? We have to survive, not to just hunt somebody and just have our prey or have our food. We have to survive to earn money so that we can pay our bills. So that is the survival instinct is there, but the condition has changed. It's from hunting to money making. That's the only change has done. But we are doing the same thing as we were doing it when we were like in the animals. We are still surviving. What we are doing it, we're using more sophisticated mind intelligence. That's what we are doing. So if creativity is needed for a street vendor, who else would be needing creativity? Who needs creativity then? A street vendor needs creativity. Okay, fine. Who else would be needing creativity? Can anybody tell me?
Scientist.
Us.
Scientist, us, exactly. Anyone, anybody needs creativity. It's not only the street vendor, but anybody. Okay, now I tell you, most of the time, if you have just go to the mall, right? You go to the mall, right? Which are the shops you generally, go for window shopping? Which are the shops? Can you tell me, please? When you go to the mall.
Which looks attractive.
Okay, which looks attractive. I'm telling what kind of merchandise that shop that display. What kind of merchandise? Like, is it clothing? Is it for women jewelry, or is it digital, or is it say home store or whatever it is? Can anybody? Okay, can you give me in the chat box? Let me just go to the chat. Yeah. Can you guys put it? I don't know why I'm not being able to close this. Okay. Now I'm just opening the chat. Can you tell me what is your favorite store when you are going into the mall? Just write the store. I mean, I'm not asking for a brand. I'm asking for the merchandise. Is it a clothing? Is it a jewelry? Is it a home store? Is it a art store? Watches? Very good. Yes. Who else? Clothing? Yes. What else? Guys, I see a lot of you are there. So can you please put it on? Can you just type it? Clothing. Can you type it here? Mobiles, home decor, electrical store. Exactly, it's coming in. Handbags, home decor, food, coffee. Yes, exactly. Food is our, choice. Absolutely. Footwear. Great, great. Some more, few more. So we can know that what actually tops the list. Cosmetics, yes. All right. So just what we see, it's called home decor comes twice, electrical mobile comes twice, and also watches also can be in the same digital store, and the clothing. So you see now our emphasis has become on the digital store, right? We try to, and if we see why do we go to home decor, or why do you go to say the digital stores? What do we find there? What is that our need? What it serves our need? Somebody said watches. Somebody said electrical store. What do you go for? What are the things that you get there? Can anybody tell me? What do we get there? What do we get in the digital stores? How that digital stores are attracting us? Even I go there.
I mean, we can find huge kind of displays, LED screens, articles, posters,
Right.
referring to the devices.
Right, exactly. So what these things do? What are they trying to do? Are they, I'm just giving you a hint, are they making your life easier? Okay, if I tell you clothing and digital store, okay, or the kitchen store, does clothing make your life easier, or digital store or kitchen store makes your life easier? Which one?
Both.
Sorry? Which one?
Digital store.
Digital store. Kitchen. I mean, you guys are very young, so you don't know. You ask your parents, where do they stop by? When they go for the home store, they will all kitchen items. Innovation started with kitchen items. Okay. Now, why do you think innovation started with kitchen items? I mean, computers were like, those were the dreams those days. People didn't. But the innovation, the technology innovation started with kitchen items. Why do you think? What could be the reason?
Because it is necessity.
Necessity, and for what? Food, living,
Ma'am,
right? What else?
ma'am, for taking an example, in our mother generation, they don't have fridge. So now fridges came and it made us easy to store our food items and all.
Absolutely. Time. It saves our time, right? Recently, I went to a home store.
Yeah.
It has a just one pot. Okay, it's called Sanjeev Kapoor's Wonder Chef or something. It's just one pot, and in that one pot, you can just say cut vegetables. You can cook food. You can bake food. You can grill food. Everything is within one pot. All right, how it looks like, I'll just show you. It's about 1 lakh rupees, but worth of the all the different, like we use grinder, we use mixer, we use so many items. You don't need so many items. Now what it says, it is like, this is the how it is going to be. It has everything. It's not that cheap, something else maybe. I'm not getting that. Okay, so it just does everything. It has AI included, so it gives you a recipe, and then suppose it tells you like how many grams of say vegetables you have to put. There is a weighing machine inside, so you put and it tells you stop or more. Then it tells you how much of water you can give, how much to keep it for getting it cooked. It's just the press of the button, and it just instructs you everything. And you can make biryani to say croissant, that the breads, French breads. You can make everything, and you don't have to you just have only one stuff in your kitchen. So where are we reaching? Why these innovations? Because our life has become complex. Somebody was telling, right, that we don't have time now. Our older generation didn't have fridge. They didn't need fridge because they were not working. They were not going out. They were just at home. There was a division of work. Men were working maybe in the field, and women were just cooking. Now we don't see the division. There is no division between us. We work, we do home chores, men and women alike, right? So the problem is, our time has become that time which is always stable, constant. It's still constant, but our work has become increased a lot, and therefore we have to save time. We need to do things quickly. So any next time you go to mall, maybe today or any next week or whenever you go to mall, just don't walk into the clothing store. That's a fashion. Walk into digital stores, home stores, kitchen item stores, and just look around. You would find innovation right in front of your eyes. Okay, so all this innovation that you are just, we talk about innovation, but we don't know what innovation is, happening. We use even fancy brooms, right? The broom, or I don't know whether you guys ever clean your house, but you will be seeing there is a lot of spring broom, spring mop that can just squeeze your water and make it like, just make it dry, and you can do it. Things have become much easier. And why we're looking into this, these are the very simple things we ignore, but these are also part of innovation. These are also part. So when I asked you the question, who does need creativity, is not just the vendors on the street. It's not only the people who are the industrialists. They need to be creative. It's not the techies like you need to be creative. Even homemakers need to be creative. Homemakers who do not have any other job, who are sitting at home, even they want to just be creative. They want to just do things where they can save time and do other things. So creativity is for all. It's not for only few of us. It's for all. Now, well, if it is for all, then why HCL and BITS are just asking you guys to learn it as a subject? Why do we learn it as a subject? Okay, now why do we learn it as a subject? Let's come next. Can you reflect 2 minutes about your childhood? Can you tell me one thing that you were like, that told you that you were doing creatively when you were a baby? What the first thing when you were a child people appreciate you doing? Do you remember? I'm sure you got appreciation. Don't tell me, ma'am, I never been appreciated. All any child would be appreciated. What is that thing that you done that you got the appreciation? Anybody? What is the first thing that you do? You get appreciation. You don't remember your childhood. Maybe you think about your siblings, or maybe you think about your cousins who are younger to you. When you draw, when you paint, do you get appreciation?
When we learn something new and when we speak in front of them.
Yes. And maybe before you could speak, you were a little one, very little. You didn't even know how to speak. But every child, whenever they draw their first thing, whenever they just make some scribbles, parents find it as a what? MF Hussain art, right? All parents go gaga. I'm a parent. I have 2 children. One is 14, one is 20. Okay. I go gaga. Oh my goodness, my child is genius. Just done the best of the artwork ever. It's not me alone. All parents of the world. The first scribble that you do, that parents are gaga over it, because that is the first creative thing you ever have done it. Before you could speak, before you could do. And then, what are the other creative things you start doing? Think about your childhood. Let's take a pause. Think about your childhood. What creative thinkings used to, how creative? Do you think actually that children are, let me just run a poll. Okay, can you vote it, please? Do you see it now? Do you think children are creative? Can you vote, please? Maybe. Okay, 1. Yes. Yes. I think we got the answer. Children are creative. So creativity is instinct. It is human instinct. It is not only human instinct, it is also animal instinct. Because, as I said to you, survival need makes us creative. Do or die. Those kind of episodes you watch it, right? Do or die. Like, that is the time you think about creatively. How do I just, avoid death? How can I just, leave? So that's the time you are just actually pressed. But when you are a child, you mostly do with experimentation. You test. You by testing, doing, you just find it out whether it's right or wrong, whether it's a good thing to do or not good thing to do. Okay. So the children are the most creative, because that is the time their brain cells are all trying to understand the environment, getting all the sensors, and trying to be just the best, version of themselves. Okay. So they are the most creative part of their life when you are in childhood. And you were allowed to be testing, you were allowed to do experimentation. You had more kind of freedom than you grow old. Once you grow older, parents start telling you, don't do this, don't do that. You go to college or school, don't do this, don't do that. College also, they start telling you it's not good to do it. Please do this, like that. Okay. So there are a lot more, say, rules and regulations come into force, and therefore you start losing your freedom. Once you start losing your freedom, you start becoming non-creative. So creativity needs freedom. Creativity needs curiosity. Creativity needs, experimentation. So do you have all these things in you? Do you think this we can start exercising freedom? We can start becoming curious, and we can start testing, doing things. Can we do it in this semester? We have just, I think, 4 months. Can we do it? Can we commit ourselves to be creative? How many of you? Can you say yes? Raise your hand. How many of you think that, we can commit ourselves to be creative people? Gokul is saying yes. Malavika? Who else? Shri Vignesh. Shri Vignesh is saying yes. I need your commitment, because this course, Saujanya, Hazira, everybody is yes. This course needs your commitment to become creative. Unfortunately, we were all born creative beings. Gradually, we shed off creativity because we thought that if we are wild, because creativity means you have to be wild. If you are wild, you are breaking conventions, you are breaking what is accepted, then you are just called out and made to see that you are not doing the right thing to do. So we stop being creative. Now, this course is going to push you to become more creative. Okay? The things that you already inherently had it when you were a child, and you stopped being creative because you were going to the school and college and the workplace, and now the demand has come in the career space that you have to be creative again. And therefore this course, which tells you, let's connect to our creative self again, let's become a child again, let's become the curious mind again, and become wild and freedom seeking. Let's become like that, because then only we can become creative again. Otherwise we can't be creative. We had a creative part of us, but that has been kind of put down. It's no more creative anymore. Now we have to rekindle it. We have to be just kind of wake it up. Okay, so we need that awakening self, and for that we need to be committing ourselves to be creative. Okay, so that's the first thing, we have to commit ourselves. And the second thing that you should do is you have to have a small corner in your home to where you are going to do all this test of creativity. Small corner. How many of you stay in hostel or PG? How many of you? Can you just raise your hand? 2. Okay. Those who are in the hostel, who has a limitation, can you find, most of you guys are in hostel. So can you find a small corner inside your room? Is there? Can you spare a small corner inside your room? It can be in front of the window. It can be on your desk. Where you love to be, where you feel, just being nice, and you feel calm. You feel like you can sit there and can start thinking. Is there any space inside your home? If not, can you get some space outside, maybe inside your PG hostel, where nobody will disturb, a part of a hostel which is quite nice and safe? Or you can walk in the morning. If you're going for a morning walk, you can go to a park where you can sit quietly and just do a little bit of deeper thinking. Because this class is about creative thinking. So we have to be creative, and we have to also do thinking. So for thinking, we need little bit of calm quietness. Okay, calm space and quiet space, silent space, where people are not just going to bother you. So if you can just find that a small space where you are alone, you are to yourself, you have a time to think, that is the corner I want you to decorate it. I want you to just make it as a creative corner for this whole, semester. Okay, so starting from today, find a small, cute place where you can just, sit, and you can just, maybe it's a good for your thinking space, or I call it creative corner. Just kind of decorate it up, do it nicely, decoration. Maybe you can just do hand painting. You can be at your creative self, whatever you used to do when you were a little baby. Like, how you used to just be creative. Nobody even stopped you. Don't do this, don't do that. It can be funny at the moment when you start doing it, but I'm telling you, you will get a good satisfaction once you just, done it. You may start with a laughter, but you will get rewarded by satisfaction once, your creative corner is up and running. Okay, I trust me, and I can just give you that guarantee. All my classes in the previous cohort, they have explained that that was the best thing they could have done in the entire semester, that creative corner. Okay, so dress it up, make it a nice belonging place where you can sit for some time, maybe 5-10 minutes together without being disturbed. So I would rather like it's your personal space inside your personal home. If it is a hostel room, or if it is somewhere, public space is good, but you cannot decorate it. But if it is a nice, beautiful, like you see in front of, if you live in front of the seashore, or you live close to a beautiful garden or botanical park, or a park, whatever it is, amusement park, and if you think that is a good place for you to just, every morning to sit there and think and all, why not? Okay, but it's all your freedom. That's what I say to you, freedom. It's your freedom of choice, but you need to have a space. I give you the freedom, but there is a compulsion, there is a requirement. That requirement is you have to identify that space. Okay, I'll show you mine one. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is my space. This is in my balcony. Okay, so I mean, I've just done it because this is the style I like. You can do it whatever it is. It's a place where I can relax. Can you guys see it? Is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. Good. So just to show you how it is going to be. So this is I can go anytime in this place, and I can just, kind of sit there, and I can even sometimes sleep there because I feel so at peace. Nobody is disturbing me. Nobody is just, doing anything. I have some more pots and all, but this is a space where I feel it, the, self to me. And I can really spend a lot of time thinking, doing my work, doing, I mean, really just calming myself down, do a deep thinking on how am I going to do it, what my stuff's going to be, how I'm going to solve a problem. Because creative thinking is all about, not about happiness, but also solving problems, right? So this is a space, is my space. It's not like you have to have the same space, but anything will do. It's inside my balcony. It's one corner. So see, I've just got a corner. So it's just a corner. There are a lot of things, outside also, but I just sit in that corner. I feel it at home. So I would like you guys to just do something. Spot a corner where you can really, spot a corner that you can really feel that it's yours, and make that as your creative corner for the next, this semester. I don't mind whether you are going to continue it or not, or you want to dismantle it, it's okay. But at least this semester, let's have this habit of creative thinking. Okay, so this is, we know that, do you know that like habit is formed in 21 days? Do you guys know that any habit can be formed in 21 days? Good or
Yes,
bad?
ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
ma'am.
right? Yes. So 21 days, you go and sit in there, whether you like it or not. You just go any time of the day, you find it and just sit there. Sit in your, creative corner for 21 days and just spend some 5 minutes thinking about how can you be creative. That's enough, okay, to start with. And then we'll go deeper. So first 1 week, you just, spend some time in decorating that place and then sitting there for 5 minutes thinking like I'm committing myself to be a creative thinker and this is my space and I'm just going to be creative. So think about that mindset, bring that mindset for 1 week, and then we'll go in deeper to just go into how do we solve problems sitting there. Okay, so this 21 days is our first habit formation to become a creative thinker. We didn't need to be having habit if we were child, but now we are no more children, so we are grown-ups and we have stopped being creative. So we have to come back. We have to reset our mind to become creative again. Okay. So it's a little bit of task, but I assure you within 21 days, you will be a pro. You will be just, you can do anything. Okay. So trust me and just find a small corner, and I don't need the photos now, but I would like you to just send the photos after 21 days when you are going to tell me the experience of being there, how you curated that place, how you got involved with that place, and how that space gives you happiness, thinking, and make you more creative. So I want those, narration as well as some pictures, like how I just shown a picture like that. So be creative. It's your space to be creative as much. But as I say to you, there is no judgment. Now my space is not that nobody, I'm not there to put it on for judgment. Like, is it good or bad, or it's small or big? It doesn't matter. It's just your belonging. Okay, so nobody is going to judge you, nobody is going to attack you, nobody is going to laugh at you. Feel free, because this is the one semester you can actually exercise your freedom and your wild thinking. I want you all to become wild, because the moment you become wild, you can be creative. If you are stopping yourself to become wild, you cannot be creative. All creative genius were wild people. Can you tell me one person who you know, or who we all know, is supposed to be the very creative person? Genius? Who is that person? We all know about him. It's Einstein, right? He said in Einstein, he's supposed to be the genius, the most genius. Now there are other people whose IQs might maybe be more than him, but he used to say that creativity is about seeing the same thing. Okay, seeing the same thing, what everybody sees, but thinking differently. He's done the same thing, right? He saw, you know, he knew that light. We all see light, but nobody thought how to measure the light, right? So speed of light is what is his famous contribution, and it's such a contribution which has not been, which people are trying to just kind of make it, prove it wrong, but not yet. And we have just done innovations on that particular equation or theorem, right? We have just made spacecrafts. We just gone. We have invaded the spaces. We have invaded. We have even taking our people for a new planet to just settle there. All is based on that E equal to mc square, right? Absolutely, everything is based on that small equation that he just saw. So everyone saw light, but he found something different. So creativity is that. And now it's not that you have to become Einstein. I'm not telling that, but at least try to see the same thing from different perspective. That is what creativity is about. Same thing from different perspective. Okay. All right. Now this is the all gearing up for 1 hour. What is this going to be? What is this course going to be? How is this course going to be? And interesting as well as challenging. Okay, so let's dive into today's presentation. So what is this? We would be just doing mostly in terms of a lot of activities. Okay. So what we are going to see is the realm of creativity, understand genesis of creativity, nature of creativity, that everywhere creativity is present in the nature. Okay. Why need for industry professionals to study creativity, activities on creativity and out of the box thinking, and innovation related creativity. Okay. Now let's move on. So what comes to your mind when we think of the topic holiday? What comes to your mind when we think of a topic holiday?
Relaxation.
Relaxation, then travel, food, fun, music, right? So many words. Now, this is where we are going to see it. We call it random stimulation. This is what we are going to learn later, but this is the first beginning of creativity. Anything that comes to you, like pop-ups, just comes to your mind, is the first. Those words are the most important. Anything that we think, we start thinking of a word, right? When we dream, we start thinking of a word, and those words now then become a context. So creative thinking is the same thing. You have to just start with a word and then you create a context or a story. Now look at this. Which of the following best describes who you are and why? Are you a tree or are you a wind? Now it doesn't matter whether tree is better or wind is better. There's no comparison here. But just to tell me, like, who, by seeing these two pictures, what attracts you? Which picture attracts you? Whichever the picture attracts you, you are the one. So if you are not just doing it, can we go back to our, yes, chat. Can people try tree or wind? Can we please try tree or wind? Wind, yes. Wind. Oh, many of you wind. Tree. Anybody else? All right. So wind and tree, what could be the difference? Both are not the same. They're different. So what could be the difference? Coming back here. What is the contrast in tree and wind? Tree is fixed. Wind is
Flowing.
flowing, right? Tree is fixed, but wind is flowing. But does that mean that flowing is better than fixed, getting fixed? No. It also doesn't mean that, either way. Both are different. There is no comparison between them. Now, fixed tree, those fixed, but it just grows, it gives us, shades, it gives us flowers, food, and so many things. And wind, it just, flows, but it can also destroy, right? So once we think about all these things, we have to train our mind to just think in a deeper, okay? So that's what creative thinking means deep. It is deep, not on surface. Telling is surface. Sometimes we say think and talk, right? We talk without thinking, and so sometimes we talk stupid, and people will just, what is she talking, or why is she like that, right? We say that. So think before you talk. So thinking is deeper. What is going to happen if I say something like this? So similarly, what is going to happen if I just identify myself as a tree or a wind? Who am I? Which attracts me? Why do I be like that? So this kind of training your mind to go deeper is the first level of creativity. All right, let's move on. So one way to understand creativity is to contrast it with productivity. Very interesting statement. Productivity is like routine work. Going to this college, going to the office, working 9 to 5, coming back, and just if there are some pending projects, doing it, and then we are sleeping. Ma'am, we don't have any time for even creative thinking. I couldn't even just make a corner of myself because I don't have time. So it is contrast to your productivity. But then if it is against your productivity, then why even HCL telling you to learn it? Isn't it going to be, against the HCL's profit making, purpose? No, because creativity enhances productivity. Understand that. So productivity is you are doing all the work, okay, hard work you are doing, and you don't have any time to think. Creativity is like changing your hard work to smart work. Okay, so that's what it enhances productivity. All right. So what is creativity? It is being unique. Okay, so you become a unique. You are not the Tom, Dick, and Harry. You are Saujanya. You are Apurv. You are Shivignesh. Some other names are also there. Astha. I've forgotten the names, many of you. So each of you are unique. You are not Tom, Dick, Harry, Ram, Sham, whatever their names are. You are not all of them. You are different. You are unique. Okay. So that's how you have to just think yourself that I'm unique. I'm different. I'm a creative person. And then only you can be creative. If you think, no, I am average. I'm not creative. I'm like, those who are non-creative, then you can't become creative. There is no way you can. So mindset change is the first thing. Training your mind to say that, believe, not say, believe that you are a creative, you are different, you are, the best, even if you are not the best. But mind has the enormous power to change you. It just actually create like none of those who are the say, who goes to space or who climbs mountains, none of them, you would ask them whether they fear or not. Everyone has a fear of death. Everyone. But some of us, we fear death and we don't even attempt. They fear death, but they attempt. And they get it very efficient on it. They get trained and they know what to do, what not to do. They're not amateurs. They just, learn to just, do those summit by doing it again and again and again. They get the skills. It's not that that's going to be life, there will be no life risk. There is always a risk, but they overcome the risk by being trained on it. So creative thinking is also like that. If you think like, I can't do it, we will not be able to do it. If you think we can do it, you will be able to do it. So that's the one thing. Now we talked about that, creativity is omnipresent in nature. That means it is everywhere in the nature. Can you tell me one animal that you know who just changes? Any animal that you know changes color, changes with the environment? We all know about some of the camouflage animals, right? Can somebody name one animal?
Chameleon, octopus.
Exactly. Chameleon, octopus, there's all of them. They just they deceive us, right? They deceive us with the environment. And how do they change their colors? Any idea? I'm not talking, we are not running a National Geographic or Animal Planet channel here, but just for curiosity. With their mind. They use their mind. They use their mind thinking that they are in that space. If it is a desert, they think that they're in the sand, and it's all becomes, they change the color of the sand. If they're in the kind of a corals, they change the color with the corals are like plants, right? It's a like hard shell calcium plants which is vibrant colors, and they become like corals. The colors they change. Chameleon, we see them. They sometimes they're in the stuck to the tree, and they look like a dry leaf, and then they jump out and they become like a green or some other color. So it's just because of their mind. Okay, so here creative thinking is also about a lot of them about the mind. We use a lot of mind thinking, mind analysis, or just mind training to become a creative thinker. When we were young, we didn't have to do this because we were naturally creative. Okay, it was a natural instinct, just like what octopus is doing. Nobody is training octopus to be, change colors. Nobody is training chameleon to change colors, because that is the survival need. Okay, so we all were creative when we were young because that is the time we had a survival need. But now we are secure. We know that if we walk on the road when the cars are coming, we will die. Okay, therefore we don't walk. We stand till the all cars stop coming, right? So we are now grown-ups. We have trained ourselves with the experimentation. So there is no risk taking now. We don't take risk. But creativity cannot happen without taking risk, unfortunately. We have to be risk takers. We have to think that this is our do or die situation. Then only will be creative. Otherwise, there is no creativity when you are in your comfort zone. So that's why we say push yourself. Okay. So these are the realm of creativity, and then let's come to the thinking process. Okay, how do we think? We have three different kinds of thinking: divergent, convergent, and lateral. Okay, so divergent obviously means it is like divergent is all, it means it is like this. Okay, it's just rooting out. That is divergent. Convergent is it's meeting to a point. Everything is meeting to a point. Okay, convergent is meeting to a point. And lateral is like we say in a tan caught outside the box. Right? I don't know whether you use this phrase tan caught. We used to use in our generation. I'm generation Y, so we used to use this one called tan caught. Oh, somebody's telling something we can't even understand. That is the lateral thinking. Okay. So divergent is when we are, kind of offshooting it, finding it different things from one reason, and then we are trying to find many reasons. And convergent is like when we have many reasons, we are trying to narrow it down to one reason. And lateral is this is wild. Lateral is like there is no rules. You go beyond the rules. You just do whatever you like it. So that is the lateral thing. It's beyond rules. There is no rules like you have to meet or you have to contrast or spread out. There is no rules. That is the lateral thing. So the wild, what I'm telling you to become wild is nothing but lateral thinking. So we have to train our brain for that. Okay, all right. This is actually shows the convergent thinking. Okay, how the entire things like facts, data, and solution comes. So we are just trying to bring everyone and finding one answer. Okay, so there are different data. Okay, there are different facts. We are trying to analyze them and finding one solution. So we are just like how I shown you to you. We are coming to one point, and that one point is the answer or solution. Divergent is there is a stimulus. There is something just telling you. It could be like what maybe the investigators do, right? The Sherlock Holmes and all those Hercule Poirot and the famous investigators, they do. They just find something, very stimulating, something that has a valid reason, and then they start finding out the solution, the problems, the issues. Okay, so they branch out. They find one hint and then they try to need that. They try to find what are these different, where the hint leads me to. How many different ways the hint can be. Like any of you play video games? Any of you play video games, guys? Yes or no? I can't see you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what do you do in video games? Do you do divergent thinking? Is there a narrative that takes you, tells you, there are this many options, you can choose the options? Do you do like that?
Oh, yes, ma'am. We try to find solution and we by hints.
Absolutely, right? So this is where the
Yes.
video games are all, it's about creative thinking. Video games are all, made up on creative thinking. So it's mostly divergent thinking because it gives now the convergent thinking it's an old school. Okay, we used to find problems and then we used to find a solution. That's a very old school thinking. So now the new school thinking is like, we can have different thinking, different patterns of thinking. Okay, this is a new school. So all the video games are into it. Like it gives you agency. It gives you, say, freedom to choose whatever you like. Okay, and then you weave your own story. You go to your own. There is an outcome given, already planned outcome. So, but if you take the A route, there'll be different outcome. You go to the B route, you will take a different outcome. So these are all, just gameplay is created like that. Okay, so this is where that all these gameplays that is been constructed in video games, the game developers use divergent thinking. Okay, so lateral thinking is a very unique. Okay, so lateral thinking is a very subjective, my kind of thing, like Einstein. It's a very subjective thinking, and it's a very unique. Like two people can think alike, right? It's very difficult for two people to think alike. So lateral thinking is like out of the box. It's a wild one. So that's the highest level of thinking. Okay, that's like future of thinking. What perhaps even AI doesn't do it because we are training the AI to do what kind of thinking. So when we are training them, we are also training within the rules. But when we are human, when we are doing the thinking, we can do lateral thinking, which AI cannot do because we train AI. So all AI will be just doing is all convergent and divergent thinking. But human being has the potential of doing the lateral thinking. And that's why even if AI is there, still the industry is wanting you to be a creative thinker. Because creative thinking cannot be done by AI. It's done by human. Human can train them. Okay, with whatever the creative thinking has been done, whatever creative thinking human being have already done it, but they cannot just train AI to just think creatively. That creatively thinking over the creative is done by the human instinct because that is what the human power, human intelligence. All right, so we talked about one thing as let's do a little bit of to understand what is convergent and divergent thinking. So these are the opposite words, right? Cold. What is the opposite word of cold? Opposite of what word of cold? Hot. Opposite word of white is what? Black, right?
Black.
Opposite words, right? Okay. So, but when we are talking about convergent thinking, what we do is, we are what we are in this one, when we are just doing it, we have a very rules: white, black, cold, hot. But can red be also opposite to white? Why not? See how this creative thinking happens. When we are within the rules, we are not being creative. When we are breaking the rules, we are being creative. Do you get that point? Why white has to be always with the black? White cannot be red. White cold has to be always with hot. White cold cannot be something with this. That is the one when we are asking questions, when we are breaking rules, when we are breaking patterns, we start doing it something called creative thinking. Okay. If a teacher asks a question, what is the city 300 miles southwest of Ahmedabad? A good student is apt to say, What is 300 miles southwest of Ahmedabad? Which can be? Mumbai, maybe. Okay, that's a common geography. Okay, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, they're all Gujarat, Maharashtra, close by, and can say. So this is a pattern thinking, right? We're doing a pattern. But how it is going to be divergent thinking? When we southwest, it's given a direction. Instead of Mumbai, southwest, there can be many. Now 300 miles, within the 300 miles, they say the zone, it can be also other cities. So when we don't pick up the most common thing, that's when we do divergent thinking. Like this Sherlock Holmes. Hints are given, like the murderer. What they do? They give hints to confuse the investigator, to confuse the person who is investigating. So what the investigators do it. They don't take the hints as it for granted. They don't take it for granted. They know the hints are to confuse. So they find the hints which can relate, but it's not confusing. It is very close to it. So the investigators are using the creative thinking. We have to be the investigators now. We have to be playing the role of Sherlock Holmes. All right. So this is when we start doing divergent thinking. So there are some examples. Let's try out. What would happen if animals could be genetically crossed with plants? Now, first thing, what will come to your mind when you read this question? What will come to your mind? Genetically crossed with plants. What does come to your mind? Possible or impossible? Possible and impossible. First instance, what it comes to your mind? Impossible, right? All of us think, how could it be? It's not possible. So when we think that it's not possible, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? We are thinking straight. We are not thinking lateral, right? So first of all, we just close the door. How can it be possible? Why can't? We are even just, creating, people are dating with AI. You never know, people can just, reproduce with AI. Okay? So these were all once upon a time, these were only impossible. Now it's becoming possible, right? So that is the human intelligence. There is no limits to human intelligence. All right. So these are the quite common questions, like how many uses are there for a teaspoon? It's a very common, I think, ice-breaking questions and interview questions whenever you go for your career. Tell me different uses of teaspoon. So how they try to see whether the employee or potential employee is a creative thinker or not. So teaspoon, the other things, that is teaspoon that you should not be using for kitchen. Like you should not use for tea, stirring the tea or something, or maybe, a teaspoon of measurement. You have to do other things. So people will give normal answers like, yes, we can just, instead of sugar, we can use it for coffee, or we can for measurement, or you can even dig the earth with a teaspoon. We say all these things. So the employees will try to find out who is thinking wide, who is having a better answer, the answer which is not commonly heard, how somebody's mind is working. So they want that distinct person who is going to be an outperformer, who is going to be standing out in thinking. So that's how they employ. So these are the very common questions which are asked during the interviews. Okay, whether they try to see whether the employee is going to be a creative thinker or not. So convergent and divergent thinking, we just done it. Now let's do a little bit of test. Find a word that does not fit with the rest. AMBUMI, DNOONL, COWSOM, ATR. Now these are all that we might have done for our perceptual skills, right? or we say analytical skills. So all analytical skills and all are based on creative thinking. Please understand that. If words are difficult, let's do it with a number. You may be knowing this number. What is the missing number in the given sequence? 2, 3, 6, 4, 5, 20, dash 318. Can anybody find the number? Two, 3, 6, 4, 5, 20, dash 314. You have to find the number which is in blue. Question mark. This one. Anybody very good in maths? The sequence? Guys, up to bed? All right, keep thinking. So what is lateral thinking? It's alternatives. Deliberately, you are just pushing your brain to find alternatives. Okay? So lateral thinking is, as I said to you, it is, you think from a different perspective, not from the rules and regulations. You break rules, you break regulations, you from a very, very different perspective. What if this is not the case? What if I am not so? So this what if is the one that we use it for lateral thinking. Okay, so our perspectives. So how we can just think from a different perspective, because why we do actually creative thinking is to solve problems, right? So many of the times, even if we do all this really creative thinking, we still can't solve the problem. The problem is still there. Let's say unemployment. Do you think nobody is trying to solve unemployment? Yes or no? How many of you think that unemployment is not a problem that people are just working on? Is anybody there like that thinking? We see every newspaper talks about unemployment, how to reduce unemployment. So this problem is there and the multiple solutions are coming. Yet the problem is not solved, right? So what we do next? The problem has to be solved. We can't keep the problem. We can't say that, hey, we just found a lot of solutions, but nothing works, man. Just leave it. Let unemployment be there. We can't say that. We have to solve the problem. So that's when we need critical thinking and especially lateral thinking, where we start thinking beyond the box, out of the box. What else can I do to just solve this unemployment problem? What can be done? That's when you are pushing yourself. Pushing yourself to realize human potential of intelligence. When we don't push, we start actually thinking within the box, inside the box. We don't go out. Okay, this is what unemployment. So let's just give them the free skills. Let them start. Just they give them the skills, and then let them start their own venture. Let them seed fund them. Give them some money and then they have to be on their own. But it's not working. What else do we do? Why do we have still so much amount of unemployment when people are educated? First they said, okay, we need education. We have to give them education. We educated them. Still educated people are unemployed. Then we say, okay, we give them the vocational education. That is, we train them the skills, which instead of this, physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, they learn the trade skills and they become tradesperson, like maybe electrician, plumber, or tailor, or whatever it is. Still we see unemployment. So what is that we're going to do next? Then we say freebies. Give them the food. Okay, so they just at least casual work. They somewhere do some casual work. Narega, ask them to come and just, work 10 days or 100 days of a year. They get payment. We're doing. We're just, finding new solution. Still unemployment is there. Do you get it? Why do we do creative thinking? Because
Yeah.
problem remains. Problem doesn't stop there. We need to do creative thinking is not just one time. All of this, Narega, and all the things we are just all talking about, the policies, the government policies, are all about creative, thinking. They came out of creative thinking. But we cannot say, yes, we found the solution and we have zero unemployment in the world. Or we have, no one is living below the poverty line. Or we have, everyone is employed. Everybody is earning, say, nobody is economically weaker section. Everybody is in HNI group. We cannot say that. Why you cannot say? Because the conditions changes. Every year there is new thing addition is happening. Every year circumstances are changing. So the solution that worked 10 years back cannot work 10 years after. Okay? We cannot just give them these people who we were just training them with a trade skill to become electrician, plumber and all. Now, they don't need to do that. Because everything is automatic. The machines are doing it on their own. We don't need a plumber because handymen are there. There are machines which have been innovated where people like in the Western countries, they don't have any more trade skill. People are not there because everyone has toolbox. They can just do it plumbing on their own. They can do electric work on their own. They can do everything because they have a toolbox to help them. So they don't need a human plumber or electrician or somebody else to do it for them. That's how the innovation has become. Now the coding is obsolete because AI is doing it. Now the one time website we used to have people to just make websites. Now we can make our own websites just by prompt. We are not even knowing anything. I'm actually zero tech background, but I can create my own website. So you see, the context has changed. So how can we think of the same solution is going to work that it worked before? So we have to now do creative thinking again. So it's a always ongoing task. It's not an ever-ending task. It's not that we do it once and then forget it. Okay, man, we just got the solution. That's all. We done it our job. Now let's move on. No, it's just going to be getting done again and again and again and again because circumstances are changing. The time is changing. Place is changing. People are changing. So that's why we need different perspective, not what that we have already done it, not within the box, not inside the box, not from the rules and the patterns, but breaking those rules and patterns. That is what is lateral thinking. When we break rules, when we break patterns of thinking, when we start thinking wild, when we start imaginating, when we start doing things which from the other perspective which never been thought of, that is what lateral thinking. Okay, so this is the three modes of thinking: convergent, divergent and lateral. So if you see the using imagination, which is a divergent thinking. Convergent thinking is using logic within the pattern, and when we are doing lateral thinking, we are using imagination. We are also using pattern. So both. Okay, but pattern means we are just logic, not pattern. We are using logic. Pattern we should not say because we are actually breaking the patterns. But we need logic. Without logic, we cannot thinking will not be foundation will not be strong, right? We just can't be crazy thinkers. We are not lunatics. Lunatics are people who have mental health problems. We are not asking you to become wild means to be a lunatic and just find a solution to a problem, because lunatics are not they do not have brain capacity to think logically, right? But you have a brain capacity to think logically because you are mentally healthy. You do not have any mental health problems. Okay, so logic is must. You have to you can be imaginative, but you have to put down into logic. You have to just, compartmentalize within the logic, because you have to defend that. You have to just make it that works. It has to be applicable. So if there is no logic, it cannot be applied, right? It can be just only one instance. Then we call it luck. We don't call it logic. The luck is it worked once and then it stopped working. But logic is it will always be working in the same condition. That is what the logic is, right? So we have to be imaginative. Okay. So like, divergence, offshooting from the, if you remember, it just, from it's like a spider web from the center, it just, offshooting everywhere. So we are imagining what are the other risks, what are the other things, what are the other hints, we get it. And then we are binding them, or we are weaving them into with the logic. For this x plus y equal to z, or x plus y equal to z square. So we are finding that logic into it. So that is what is called lateral thinking. Okay. So now the next, we have another half an hour. So why do we need? Now this is a very important thing where we talk about why industry needs. Sorry, where did we go? Yeah, the need for industry professionals to study creativity. Why? Because the thought process and mental patterns one uses to select, process, and analyze information can act as barriers. Like I told you, that we all think alike because we are trained to think alike. We are not trained to think unlike. We are trained to think alike. Like I said, how come how can we even genetically modify a animal and a plant? We all know it's impossible because we are trained to know it as impossible. So we are thinking within that kind of pattern, the information which has already been given there. So there is a barriers there. We are not kind of breaking that barriers. So and then we are held back. Okay. So we are holding back our creative potential. We are not just trying to see how cannot that be possible. Okay. How can we make it possible? So that is the next level. So we become a better problem solver when we do creative thinking. Instead of finding the problem as impossible, when we are accepting the problem as taken for granted, like this is what is going to happen, there is no solution to it, immediately we are blocking ourselves and therefore we are not solving, we're not even interested in solving the problem. But when we, break the barriers, we become better problem solver. We better analyze information, this data, these facts, this information, all these things, the resources that we have it, we start analyzing them. We critically analyze them. It's not that we see it and tell them, oh, this is what the author has said, this is what the scientist has said, it's not possible, means who am I to just think about that it's possible, because I'm not a scientist. So we completely do not critically analyze. Now, critical analysis is why it cannot be, possible. Yeah, I'm not a scientist, but I can find out, dig the research. I can do the research and see different things. What research means, it tells you different ideas, right? Research A says something, research B, C, D, E, F. There'll be hundreds of different ideas. So you get those ideas and then you just kind of check it whether those are logical ideas or illogical ideas. Some ideas will be illogical. Some ideas will be very logical. Some ideas will be maybe logic and illogic mix. Okay. So then we try to see critically, we are trying to see which one will work, which has more case studies having it work. So therefore, there are more chances. So then we create our own ideas. So our ideas are not just, it's not God gifted. It doesn't just pop up into our head. We create, we form ideas by reading these different things, by analyzing different information, by observing our field. And then we see it, okay, this does not work, that does not work, this works, superficially, this works partially. So maybe this will work better. Then we find with something come up, original solution telling that this may be a better solution. Okay. draw appropriate conclusions that we need to conclude. That is what also critical examination is about, that we read it and we don't take it for granted. Yes, this is what the author says. No. We conclude, author may be saying this, but this is not true. I don't think this is true, because some author has said that this is, right, or this is wrong. This is how we do. We read. We read between the lines. We read from because even the author, whoever has, written that, experimented that, the scientist has their own subjective opinion. Okay. So it's from that scientific opinion. Until and unless it's absolutely objective, like people are trying to even prove E equal to mc square, the Einstein geniusness, as wrong. Why are they doing it? Because they are not taking it for granted. They know, yes, it works. What if it doesn't work? What if the situation has changed? What if the physical nature of the world has changed? What if there are some other things? How can we take it for granted that E equal to mc square will be working in the university, time immemorial? How is it possible? So there are people who are working on that. So they're not like stupid. Why they're doing it? Because they want to see that conclusion. If they have missed out, wrong conclusion. If it is no more working, stopped working, then we have to find something else. Okay. Then the communicate, we communicate our position logically. That's what I say to you, that we have to defend. Why do we think this is our original opinion? Why do we think E equal to mc square is not working? In what case? When is it not working? How long it is not working? So we have to defend that with, obviously, experimentation or writings of others, case studies. We have to see it and we have to logically defend that. Okay, this is another very important part of creative thinking. And then what we do, we make the decision that is right now going to be applicable. We are not talking about future decision. We are not talking about what worked past. We are talking about what is going to work now, not in future, not in the past. So this is the best decision we can have it now. So these are the ways industry needs professionals. So here, your domain knowledge, industry is not trying to see, other domain knowledge, your domain knowledge, but what you are doing it, how you can be creative thinker, because everybody has domain knowledge. All of you tech bees have great understanding of CS, computer sciences. So how you guys are going to be, a creative thinker? Because when you are a creative thinker, you not only think from your domain perspective, but you think from the other domain's perspective. You bring biology, or you can bring physics, chemistry, or maths, or you can bring humanities and social sciences. Like philosophy and AI go together. Philosophy is a very logic. You are also studying logic, right? It's a very core foundation of, human thinking. All great, thinkers were philosophers. They started asking why do we see stars? What is those things which are just, twinkling in the sky? Why morning we see sun and evening we see sunsets? So they were the philosophers who asked difficult questions, and then they found out the answers, and then we learned as a science. So see how human intelligence is being. We have been using the creativity all around us. There is nothing which is new to us. We've been doing it. And why we are doing it? To come to a good solution, to understand that, it's not that the sun is, revolving around the earth, but earth is revolving around sun. It's just the opposite to the belief. It is just the opposite of saying that, it's not, God is nowhere. It is all done by the universe, because universe has a gravitational pull. That's what has been happening. Okay, so this new thinking is a challenge to the people who already believed in something else. So these people were the philosophers, they were the thinkers, they were the creative thinkers who challenged the belief. And we have to be taking their role. We have to challenge the beliefs. So we have to, it's not that wrong to do it. Until and unless we do it, we cannot progress. Human innovation cannot be progress. We cannot be a progressive society or culture. So we need to do it. It's part of our task. Our forefathers have done. So we should be doing it even more. So what is the creative thinking techniques? There is no limit to ways that you can think creatively. There is no limit. You cannot say like, yes, A works, B works, C works, but D does not work. No. Everyone has a different technique. Okay? So there is no limit to the ways you want to be creative. Anything that makes you creative, finding your different solution, tries to be make you unique, where you think, differently, that's when the thinking is actually working. Brainstorm ideas on one topic into a large piece of paper. Okay, so anything that you want to just talk, any one say problem, we have to just take a say A3 size paper, and then we have to start writing the problem at the center, and then like how we done it, divergent thinking. Brainstorming is a divergent thinking. So it becomes like in the center. Yes, this is the problem in the center. Okay, and then we start brainstorming. What is it going to be? What why it is like this? So we are starting ask questions and we get answers. So brainstorming, then allowing yourself to play with an idea while you go for a walk. So anything that you are doing relaxing, you just think about that idea. What if not? Asking both and trying to just vision it with your experience, your observation, your reading, your understanding. You have to just try to just find what is it that's going to happen. Draw, paint a theory on a paper. You have to just start, because imagination is expressed through drawing, painting. Artists are all imaginative. Okay, so when layperson, when we go into artwork in an exhibition, we don't even understand what artist is trying to just say. But some people understand, some people do not understand. Because those people who understand are the imaginative people. They understand what artist is trying to say. And those people who do not understand, they're not imaginative people, and they don't know what is, is it a modern art? It's a color is splashed everywhere. There is no concept. Actually, every artist, it's not a random riot of colors. It is about one particular story. They're depicting a story. They're not playing with it's not a holy that they're playing with the random colors. They're depicting a story. Therefore, definitely each artwork has a meaning. So some people, we don't get that meaning. Some people can understand that. So that's where the creativity and imagination come. So the more you paint, the more you draw, the more you express your, understanding in the paper, you become a more creative person, because you are giving, say, dimensions, you are giving representation to your thought. Thinking is like abstract, right? We can't catch, we can't just, take it and all. It's very abstract. It's just in a flying zone, like a wind. The moment we capture that and put it in the paper, it becomes tree. Okay, it just becomes fixed, and you can see it. This is what my thinking is. All right, then it makes sense, right? We start understanding that. Ask the same question at least 20 times and give a different answer each time. That is what is very important thing. Ask the same question. Why is it this? And give different answer. Because A, because B, because C. So you're finding different answers. You are actually helping your mind, pushing your mind again and again to just, think deeper, wider. Change your routine. Do any one thing different. Do not be like, our patterned mindset. The pattern of thinking is because we are always doing our routine. Morning, waking up, brushing our teeth, it's all muscle memory. And then, doing our, just breakfast, going to work, coming back, chilling with the, say, social media or with some OTT and then going off to bed. So this is what we are doing. So there is no time for creative thinking. If we don't do one thing differently each day, we are not trying to stimulate our brain. Okay? So that stimulation is missing. And therefore, do not always be a. When we do that, we become a pattern thinker. Our thinking also becomes pattern within that. Easy thinking. But easy does not mean right. Right? Easy, what it comes easy, we know that it goes also easily. So it's the things that comes to us easily is like, without effort, obviously it's not going to just, make any difference. So we have to make that effort. Only effort leads to difference. Be open to ideas when they are still new. Look for ways of making things work and pushing the ideas to the limit. So anything that somebody says, oh, it's not going to work. No, you are wrong. It's impossible. That is the first thing we say when somebody else gives us a different idea. Okay? We don't accept that. First is the rejection. So that's what we have to stop doing it. We should not reject, we should listen. We should reason. And then we can give an, just argument. Why it's not going to work. Rather than